Welcome and well met.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So David, I know you know Charles. You
Yes.
know Michael.
Yes.
And then we have Kath.
Hello.
Hello, Catherine. How are you today?
Doing well enough.
Oh, you know her too, eh?
Do you prefer Catherine or Kath?
Either way, I've been addressed as both, so take your pick.
All right, fair enough. I like to be, respectful as much as I can. Charles will tell you I'm like that. Hey, me and Charlie go way back, don't we? We've been playing for years, mate.
Yes, we have.
Are y'all still doing the Heroes of Greenest thing with Kai's?
No, Caius hasn't brought that back. He said the internet that he has, last time I talked to him, wasn't that robust. And I think the playing that he has been doing was kind of like up at his sister's when he's up there.
Okay.
So I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know if he's still in Spain.
Well, no, I think that ended. I think that campaign reached its climax.
Not really. I don't think so.
Aye.
We still have a little possible hag in the making, and
I thought you took care of that. I watched that episode where you took care of the hag.
Yeah, we did.
Well, we took care of some of the hags and killed them.
The hag girl.
The hag in waiting.
Yeah, the hag in waiting. Yes. Yeah, I saw that true polymorph spell episode.
So what did you think of my character then? I was quite interested, I guess.
I appreciate it. I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. It's like, okay, what are we going? Everybody, let's prep up, yada yada. All right, let's concentrate for a freaking hour.
Yes. Let's kick the tires and light the fires, baby.
So I know David has made up a Goliath character, which is suitable.
Goliath champion.
Because of the far northern reaches in which you guys find yourselves at currently. I'm trying to think of how to. Okay, we left off last time as we continued. Wizards of the Coast trademark Storm King's Thunder. And you guys were traveling or traveled to Everland because of you guys were told that of a contact that would give you guys access to more expedient travel. You guys went to Everland. You guys went to Moongleam Tower, a headquarters, I guess, of the Harpers. You guys were granted use of a teleportation circle so that you guys could travel back up to the far north. As I said, very appropriate that David made a Goliath, because you guys like travel to the far north to the wealthy and well fortified city of Mirabar, which stands on, like, what is it? It's like the Mirabar River or something like that.
Let's see. I don't need that.
Right adjacent to the spine of the World Mountains.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'll go ahead and I'll share that.
The reason you guys traveled up to the north is because you are. Oh. Voiceover is loud.
System dialog. Button. System dialog. Press SEO double click to exit full screen mode. Zoom.us. Volume 1.
Enter full screen mode.
40%. 20. Closing. Vault.
Yeah.
Vault. Closing.
I don't know why my last update was weird. Anyways, you guys are traveling with some NPCs.
Who else did we bring besides Harshnag?
You guys have Gobble the Goblin, Gobble the Monster Manual Standard Goblin.
Yes.
Who survived many an encounter.
Yes.
Well, even with werewolves.
Gobble the man.
That's it.
And you guys also travel with another companion, NPC companion, a friendly frost giant, an ex-adventurer named Harshnag the Grim, who claims to be part of or was part of Force Grey. Critical role, blah 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 blah. The reason you guys are traveled back up here is because Harshnag, the giant, has said that he knows of a place within the Valley of Kedron in the spine of the World Mountains where there is an ancient temple of Anon the Allfather, the giant god that is currently responsible for smashing the ordaining. And that has smashed the ordaining and has thrown giant society into chaos with many giants trying to claw and climb their way to the top. He says that he could take you to this oracle. Maybe you guys can get some answers, find some solutions. You guys polymorphed Harshnag into what, Michael?
To fit into the thing, let's go with a.
Actually, you know what? That's right. You don't polymorph him. This guy will. The wizard will.
I
Like
thought it was a
Koron or
mouse.
whatever. That's right. I said that last time that Koron would. Yeah. To a
he
mouse.
did the spell.
So you guys, like I said, are in this big circular chamber. What the fuck? And he before he casts a teleportation circle, he transforms Harshnag into like a mouse or whatever, and he hands him to you. And he casts teleportation circle, and you guys feel that shift in your body and within space time itself. It almost feels like you're falling, but a quick feeling of vertigo when you actually notice the smell first of hay and horses and manure and earth. Not a bad smell,
Arrived.
but the smell hits you first before visually you realize that you're standing in a shady building with a high roof, and you're standing on a wooden floor, but all over the floor, and I mean all over, like knee deep, is straw or hay, rather, all over. And and standing nearby, not like, right 5 feet, but like 15, 20 feet away, is a dwarf with straw blonde hair and mustache and beard. And he's not wearing a shirt, but he's wearing a pair of like bib overalls. And there's a pitchfork leaning on the wall beside him. And he's just kind of sitting on a bale of hay, looking at you guys expectantly with his arms crossed. And it looks like you guys are in like a hayloft in a barn or in a stable. And you can see where, even through the hay on the floor, you see the remnants of the fading glyphs and runes that were glowing around you in a circle.
Is there anybody who can greet us?
Just the dwarf, as I said. He doesn't look startled at all. Totally looks like he's expecting you guys. He just watches as you guys appear and clears his throat and stands up. And he just nods and grabs his pitchfork. And he says, welcome to Mirabar. And he looks at all of you. He says, you're an odd-looking bunch.
Well, you're kind of strange looking yourself.
Not here.
We may be
So-
odd, but we're powerful. And Garl will jump forward and do the pose and say, I am the king of the goblins.
And he goes over to the edge and he begins climbing down a ladder. And you guys in your echoing in your ears, you have when whatever his name was, Koron or whatever, the wizard cast polymorph on Harshnag. You heard him say, "You have 1 hour before the spell wears off."
I'm
I think
assuming
we
the
need to get
room's big
moving.
enough for a giant.
Pardon me?
The room's not big enough for a giant.
There could be in here, yeah. Yeah,
How about
it
the door?
honestly does, because you go to the edge and yeah, like you're clearly in a hayloft. You just can climb down and the animal smell is more down below and you can hear animals and stuff.
Let's yeah, we need to get out of here soon. Have a companion of ours who's going to get a lot bigger soon, and we need to find some open air. So if you could be so kindly as to lead us out of here, that would be quite helpful.
Well, he with the tip of his head, and you see like he's down at the bottom now, and he brushes some straw even off of his beard that he's picked up somewhere. And he says, "The Dars are right over there. The city's outside. You want to get out of this city? Head to one of the gates."
All right. Thank you. I suppose I could use a drink before we go.
Okay, I'm just gonna pause you guys.
Yep.
David,
Yes.
I was gonna say I'm gonna get to you, but do it. I gotta go blow my nose.
That's okay. Take your time.
Excuse me.
It is not okay. Blow your nose now.
In my t-shirt. Okay, hold on.
Oh, put the bouncing ball back.
Well, that's a long sneeze.
No shit. Sometimes when I sneeze like 3 times in a row. I go at you, and at you, and then at you. It just keeps rolling.
Yeah, some people sneeze like that.
Yeah.
Apparently, I heard if you sneeze 10 times, wish.
That is an interesting wish.
So Nicodemus, you say you got a bit of a thirst.
Yeah, I suppose I could head down to one of those bars first before we go. I mean, we do have an hour before Harshnag is big again.
Okay. Um. Okay, so David, you're playing a Goliath. Spine of the World Mountains would be a great place to be. So you could be from like anywhere within like 100 miles.
Okay.
Like I mean, like where you're originally from. I don't know where your character would be. If your character would be out in the wilderness, or your character might be visiting a city. I don't know. I want you to.
She'll be visiting.
So
Yeah, she'll be visiting the city because. Oh, go ahead.
just for like provisions or whatever. Okay, yeah. Um, back to the guys. You guys are in this barn. You can see like there's a lot of horses everywhere. A lot of ponies mixed in with the horses. Riding horses, draft horses, ponies, shaggy ponies, sleek ponies. And Michael, you said something about a drink first or something?
Yeah.
Okay, you're like pouring a drink, and the dwarf with the pitchfork and bib overalls, he comes over and he what you call it? Because he's a dwarf and you're pouring alcohol, so he
No, yeah.
comes over.
Would you like a
Gobble-
mug? Would you like a glass?
I certainly would. And he like comes over with his pitchfork and he flips it, puts a butt end on the ground, and you get a better look at it, Michael. You can see there's actually like arcane runes carved into the haft of the pitchfork.
That's odd. All right, so as I'm pouring him another a beverage, I'll be like, "So you got an interesting pitchfork there? Haven't really seen a magical one before. What's it do?"
He says, it's my staff. He says, I'm in charge of this teleportation circle.
A dwarf?
Dwarves can be wizards too.
Well, I mean, in earlier editions they couldn't.
Well, but look how long we live.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Earlier.
But you've lived through a few editions then.
I have. I was born in 1973. Why did I made a dwarf younger than I am in real life? Anyways, no, he says, all these circles should have attending mages or teams of attending mages. And he says, and he's not talking about anything important, but you guys kind of notice that like Warvel is like at the door of like the stables out to street. You could hear like the streets and stuff too, coming through the ajar door. And he's kind of like cloaked and cowled and like basically taking a good perception check outside. He looks, his body language and stuff suggests that he's like uneasy. But
does it sound? And Gar will go over and kind of just below Warble.
Yeah.
Put his ear to the door.
Yeah.
And does it sound like it's a real busy street out there?
It does sound quite busy. Yeah.
And Gar will go back and say, "This may be our opportune time to sneak on in and not be seen."
Well, I'll down my mug and be like, well, it was nice having a drink with you. Perhaps we can
He
go our way.
he thanks you with some foam on his moustache and beard.
And Garl will try to, he'll say, "Hold on a minute, I'll create a diversion." And
We really don't need a diversion, though, Carl. We can just, walk around.
and he'll be trying to sneak on out like that.
Oh, you go out, you open the doors a little bit, you open up, and it is like, number one, it's cold. Two,
Oh.
there's lots of snow.
Fuck.
3, there is lots of people. Like, and everything, all the buildings, all the streets, all the walkways, the walls in the distance are all made out of stone.
Covered in snow. How deep is the snow?
Well, in the city streets, most of it's been cleared out and stuff like that in the streets. But by the rooftops and stuff like that, like a good, like just on the rooftops, 18 inches, 20 inches.
Oh.
Damn, difficult terrain.
And it's busy, and everyone's like bundled up, and although like for Silence, Kath, for our tiefling there, it's as busy as any street in the city of Waterdeep, but yet it looks significantly different. People, although you could tell that there are people who are well dressed, people aren't audaciously dressed. Although you guys know that you're in the dwarven clan city of Mirabar, there's surprisingly not that a whole lot of dwarves. The one thing you do see for dwarves is you can hear like coming through the streets. You can see like a squad of heavily armored dwarves moving in formation that come stamping down the street. Like you would see most city guards, but these guys are just super intense, right? And when they kind of come down the street, that's when Warble kind of like steps farther back in, and he kind of waits for them to pass before he will.
Garl will kind of.
Oh dear.
So does Gobble. Gobble's kind of like freaked out by all the people too. He's kind of, you got to kind of look like, where the hell Gobble go? And you see he's like right behind one of you, clutching onto your cloak.
Garl will step kind of out of away from the stable.
Mhm.
So only probably about 5 feet.
Mhm.
Going to point to the mountains.
And the mountains are right fucking there. Like you could see them just
But
you know,
he's
like
gonna-
like
he's
you
gonna-
would be within any alpine city, and they're massive and they're look jagged like the Rockies, and they're purple
Okay,
in hue.
he's gonna point
And
out.
let's. Pardon me, Michael.
I like purple. That's all. I like purple.
Yeah, purple's like the new blue, eh, or something.
Yeah.
New red. People love purple. It's like if
Royal
you're,
color.
it's like if you like pink, but you're afraid to admit it, you'd say you like purple.
I like
Yeah.
pink.
I like pink too. I'm very like Hitman Heart, right? Like, give me like black, pink, and like brushed chrome. So I was that before. What's your favorite color? I said chrome.
But Gar will point
Let's-
to the mountains and holler, "Fire giants!"
Okay, you shout. There's like everybody out in the streets just kind of like, what's that crazy gnome yelling about?
And be pointing up to the mountains with one finger. And if any of them are paying attention from inside where the door is open, with the hand, his other hand, but kind of towards the back of his back, he'll be kind of shushing them, saying, "Go that way, go that way."
There's
Yeah.
many shops, merchants, shoppers, people going for strolls. But like I said, it is wintertime. It is cold, but everyone is dressed for it. Everyone is either in nice wool coats and stuff, or in nicely fitted furs and stuff. Let's just get some rolls for the weather here. Exactly. Well, not exactly, but get an approximation. Who wants to roll me? David, let's get you to roll.
Okay, what do I need to roll?
I was just gonna get you to roll me a die 20. You don't even have to add anything. Just tell me. I'll get you to roll it. Well, first of all, let's roll die 20 for the temperature. Let's find out what the weather is like.
I got a 18.
18. It is warmer than usual.
Might be around freezing.
It's global warming.
Let's roll a second time for the wait, no. Yeah, warmer. Yeah. Let's roll a second time for precipitation, please.
I got a 12.
Oh, no precipitation.
Yay!
Let's roll one time for wind.
Okay. I got a natural 5.
No wind. So it's actually a very pleasant day. Like Michael said, still below freezing. But it's a nice day. So the streets are really busy. A lot of people doing business. You guys can leave the barn, leave the stable, head on towards the gates. Like very unusual city, because it's like built to like to scale of humans, and most of the population is humans. But yeah, just by like the layout of the city and the construction of the city, it just says dwarf. Like it's so blatantly culturally dwarven. So even to find your way out of the city to the gates isn't difficult or anything. It's just the streets lead you to the main street, which leads you right out to one of the main gates. Like you just I'm gonna get one of the people here, like Silence Nicodemus, or Garl,
Mhm.
one of you to roll me just a d20. I need to know kind of.
18.
Which one of us is rolling?
18, Michael?
Yeah, I just did it. I rolled 18. I said, took initiative and rolled it. 18.
Uh, you guys, as you're heading towards the gates, you could see that there's like a squad of those armored uh heavily armored dwarves by the gates. And it's a city, right? So there's like
No big deal.
heavy but like heavy traffic flow areas.
And they're dwarven guards?
Yes. Heavy
Wow.
traffic flow areas often accumulate, happens in Waterdeep and everywhere too, right? You accumulate not spreadsheets, the daily like newspaper things, right? And there's like things pasted to the walls and pasted over top, and you can see like where the clutter on the walls and the buildings and stuff like that becomes more and more, when suddenly with that 18 you guys could see wanted for crimes of murder and burglary, 5,000 GP, and there's a sketch of
Warhol.
Warvel.
Dude, yeah.
Okay.
Better keep him hidden.
So, Werble. You ever wanted to be a horse, Werble?
Ugh.
I'm sure the ladies have told you you're hung like a horse before. You want to be one now?
Stop beating around the bush. I know what you're getting at. And his eyes are like kind of like he's, like I said, cloaked and cowled, which is like,
Yeah. Let's step back into the barn. And I'm going to polymorph him into a horse. And then I'm going to ride out on him.
brilliant. Brilliant.
Step back into the barn. Walk right out of the barn. Riding on Werble as a horse. And go straight out.
Garl will open up his pouch and look and see just how full it is. And then he'll turn back and he'll look at Garl. But not Garl, but
Nicodemus.
not Nicodemus,
Warvel.
Wervel.
Horse Werble?
Horvel.
Horse
And,
Werble?
he'll look back at his pouch and he'll look back at Wervel and he'll rub his chin and scratch his head and start going with the party.
Yeah, you have guys get, don't you?
Okay. So now you're heading to the gate, confident, astride your horse, bareback.
Yeah.
But that
I
doesn't
probably have
gain
a saddle.
But
on
you
my
guys do get like clearly spotted as you guys are like funneling out, and you could tell like, oh yeah, we're gonna get stopped because of the fact that there is like a tiefling, satyr or satyr.
Well, what's so, I'm not a tiefling.
Yeah, they're racist though. You're not human or dwarf. They're kind of like, they can tell you're strangers. They can tell like you're, and you could because even in the same area, you could see. You didn't see it the first time, but when you come back from casting the spell, you can see this time that there's also at first you think ogre, and you realize no, not big enough, not dirty enough. You can see that these dwarves also have like pulled off to the side. Goliath.
Cool.
What's this Goliath look like that we see?
Okay, so you see a 6'3" female Goliath.
That's
With-
short.
The run of the
Huh? Yeah, 6'3". She's 6'3". She has like her hair all sort of dreadlocked up, and in a ponytail. And on her sort of forehead, she has some sort of like war paint and a bit of war paint or like tattoos embedded into her actual skin, like tattoo artwork, like lines going across her sort of torso, under her sort of like chest area, and she has a few other sort of blue tattoos that you can sort of just barely see, but she's wearing much clothing, and she's carrying an axe and a shield
How big?
and a
Like
back.
a
Uh,
regular battle axe?
yes, just a normal one-hand battle axe and a shield. But she does have like 2 axes on the back of her back, and a backpack with like like a explorer's like backpack sort of thing. And she does have like bits of chain mail on her, sort of like on her shoulders and on her, it's a bit of here and there sort of thing. But it's basically she's walking in the snow, pretty just like casually, like it doesn't get up.
Cool. And you're being accosted by the dwarven guards?
Yeah, I was gonna say, and David, your character was like, in the city. I'll say, like, you're leaving the city, and just as you're leaving, right, like you got kind of stopped when you came in to find out what your business is, and now you're just getting the same kind of treatment. Now it's like, what is your business, and what were you doing here? And they actually ask you if like you're carrying any metal. And they're stern but not rude, these dwarves in plate armor. They carry emblems, or they have emblems on emblazoned upon them somewhere, whether on their armor or on tabards or something, that is like that of an axe. It's just the typical kind of bureaucratic stuff. When you notice that they have also pulled over a small group of adventurers. One looks like a tiefling, a satyr, and
Smelling bad.
Mr. Verblin. And this satyr is bareback riding on a horse, and the dwarves are just giving them the same kind of rundown. It
And
honestly
the
seems
horse
like
has a mad gleam in his eye.
the horse does.
Yeah, the horse
Yeah.
has a mad gleam in his eye.
Yeah, a wicked gleam in his eye. Oh, and a goblin. And that's, you guys are really getting asked about the goblin. And it's like, you guys are actually kind of getting the
We have
dwarves like,
goblin and a demon. Yeah, the dwarves are like, what the fuck is up with this shit?
yeah, basically, he's like, you can't just he's like, what gate did you guys come in? Who let you in with a goblin? I should find you right now.
Garl jump forward and say, I am the king of the goblins, and I'm on business here for the Harpers. And he'll show his little Harpers badge that he got it with the moon gleam.
Oh, yeah. Roll me.
Mind yourself and get after that fire giant over there pointing at the Goliath.
He's like, never mind what's going on over there. Roll me persuasion, charisma, persuasion, and just roll with advantage.
All right, let's see here. All right, charisma, persuasion. That's 18 on the die. And do I got any persuasion? Deception probably would have been better for him, but persuasion. That's a 19.
They threaten, but they don't find you. They're just like, basically, like, shouldn't be bringing goblins in the mirror bar, but
Perhaps you don't know
whatever.
who you're talking to.
Well,
Allow me to introduce myself. And as I do so, my cloak flutters in the non-existent breeze astride my horse with the mad gleam in his eye. And I say, I am Nicodemus, cleric of Bacchus and defender of Bryn Shander. These are my fellow companions, the heroes of Bryn Shander. There, at Bryn Shander, we drove off the Frost Giant invasion led by the Frost Giant Trufi, of which I personally slew her myself. Then we proceeded to ransack Frost Giant raiding parties up and down the Sword Coast, especially at the dwarven port of Fireshear. I think that was the name of the place. And then at Azogl Keep.
yeah, Xantharol's Keep or whatever. Spelled with an X. Spelled with an X.
Yeah, Azanthral's Keep. And then we negotiated a truce of peace between Cloud Giants and the city of Waterdeep before freeing the road between Waterdeep and the Golden Fields from Hill Giants who were camped beside the road. We drove them off and away. And then while at Golden Fields, we have driven off and repelled and saved the city from other Hill Giant invasions. And then most recently near Everland, we found Hill Giants excavating great wonders and powerful weapons and slew them too. So we have important business here to do to keep these giant marauders, which I'm assuming even this town has had to deal with. I'm surprised the damage isn't worse considering we've just now arrived. And Gobbo here is a giant slayer. Have you ever killed a giant? And I look down at him, whoever the chief guard is. You're like, because if you haven't, I wouldn't take such a haughty tone with Gobbo.
How long have they kept us here?
Oh, not long. Not long.
Damn, I was hoping they kept us here just right at about an hour.
Well,
this is our friend, the Frost Giant.
That would have been awkward.
well, he says, the Giants wouldn't dare attack Mirrorbar itself. He's like, but
So you haven't slain the Frost Giant. You haven't slain a giant.
he says,
Answer the question. Have you not slain a giant?
he says, I've got a pot of giant brain soup waiting for me when I get home for supper.
Yes,
That
who
sounds
slew it?
delicious.
He
And who
says,
slew it? Was it you or did you buy it? Did you pay the gold price or the iron price for it?
he says, with me own axe.
Oh, well.
It
Never
never
mind.
tastes right from someone else's.
Well, in that case, good sir, you are a noble and powerful man. And your power is seen by the slaying of the giant. Your nobility will be seen by letting us go about unhindered as we end this giant treachery upon the land instead of just slaying giants right and left like a whack-a-mole. Good day, sir.
And Gar will say, and you'll show your gratitude for your delay upon us by giving us that fire giant you have over there as tribute.
Yes, him too. We will both be exiting this town.
Stretching a bit far.
Hey, if you're gonna stretch it, stretch it.
Common words right before things rip.
This, as you know, like I said, they just stop, ask you the typical kind of security questions. Who are you? Where'd you come from? And like I said, you could tell that like they're totally racial profiling, right? You're not, if you're not human or dwarf, they're pretty much stopping you and asking. When he mentions giants wouldn't dare attack Mirabar, you, as you walk past these inner gates, you kind of know why he said that. For the traffic entering and leaving the town, on foot, on horseback, other beasts of burden, pulling sleds. Nothing has wheels on it this time of year. You're walking, you can see that like as you walk through the gates, that the walls are made out of solid stone, and this roadway leads through, and it's open to the sky, right? Like it's a gate, but these walls are literally as thick as like several city blocks. Like, you know, it's not just you walk through the gate, you're outside, like literally, like city blocks. Like 500, 600 feet thick.
As we're going past them,
Mm-hmm.
Garl will say, "My people do better work."
The walls look like they're about 40 feet up. When you eventually, the Goliath, by the way, is walking nearby-ish, right? You know, within like, whatever, not far, just part of the traffic moving out of the city. I don't know. And that's it. You guys can exit the city. Your horse clip-clopping.
Come on, giant, we freed you. You owe us. Come on. We might find a use for your short little runny self.
The Sterverblin that was like being questioned at the gate with his companions hasn't stopped chatting. That's part of the background sound to you, Goliath. It's just has become that Sterverblin literally has not stopped chatting.
I mean,
And you can tell you've even become part of the conversation. Like he's like now come to like addressing towards you
okay.
and even throwing in a few like giant slang words.
Mm-hmm.
That's what kind of really got your attention, because you're like, oh, like what, you know, you just know so the Sterver was chatting, and then a word in giant really sticks out, and you're like, what? It kind of makes you pay attention. You realize, what did he say about me? Hey, he's already talking about something else. He's already, you know, talking and anyways. As you're walking through like this wide causeway through the walls.
Okay. Alright. She just walks through the snow, you know, the shield on her, shield on her back, axe sheathed, type thing. She looks around, and like she just I don't know because like her plan was to go to the inn and find what sort of battle it was.
And the Goliath is the only one not heavily dressed.
Yeah, she's basically almost topless.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, she is almost completely butt naked. She's
Oh,
only got
you're totally like the chainmail bikini top and wolfskin panties type thing.
yes.
Well, you think you could need a cloak or anything there, big guy, girl?
I told you she's a fire giant. That's why she don't need no clothes. She's building her own juice.
No, I'm just used to the cold. My
And-
people,
It's only
Dude.
6'3". That's hardly a giant.
my people live in cold conditions like this. I am no giant. I am a Goliath. My name is Diana, folk hero to my people of the mountains.
What's it do?
Ah.
What are you doing out in the mountains then?
Slaying giants and collecting their bones. We fight many giants in the mountains. What about you?
Well, what do you think about giants?
Apart from they pillage and rape women and destroy towns and crush people with their rocks, they are pretty assholes.
And
Hey.
and you, David, as well know that like the giant, like there's stories of marauding giants everywhere. Everybody has a marauding. The more you travel, in fact, I'm sure you've probably even had like some sort of encounter in the past with giants.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you would have. Like it just
Yeah. Yeah,
Just
basically.
out of curiosity, do you happen to think that all giants are evil, or are you okay with the fact that maybe some are decent folk? You know?
I have never met a giant in my life.
Well, say you did meet a giant, and somebody's like, "Hey, this is a good guy." Would you necessarily? I mean, I'm not
Like a
necessarily.
giant that bashes in the skulls of other giants.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm trying to know is if you were to be hanging out and say suddenly a giant appeared right here, would you automatically attack it, or if I said, "Hey, it's okay," would you leave it alone? As long as it didn't smash you in the head.
Like if it started smashing other giants in the head.
Like, I don't know, let's say we got 30 minutes left on this polymorph spell. Say in another 30 minutes, a giant were to just appear right here.
He says, I am a good person. I do not judge people by their I judge people by their acts. So if this giant is acting aggressively and
well,
tries
he's got a nice axe, so that's all right. That's for sure.
I was going to use that little.
Well, I thought I better interrupt before someone else steals the joke. So.
Yeah.
But
Great for
yes,
smashing in the heads of other giants.
as long as he does not attack me, then it's fine.
Okay. Cool. And what do you think about, like, wanted posters? Like, are you really big on simply because you see a wanted poster that you should turn that dude in?
If there is a wanted poster for that person,
Yeah.
then it is not. I am not a bounty hunter.
It's good to know. Even for like
Good to know.
5,000 gold pieces?
And when you say 5,000 gold pieces, Garl goes reaching for his pouch and looking inside it and looking back up a couple times.
I feel you, Garl. Only I could polymorph somebody into another, dwarf. I could disguise self. I could do that. I could disguise myself into Mad Eye. We know pretty much what he looks like. Turn myself in. You collect the money, and then when I turn back into, and the whole time I'd be like, "You've made a mistake. I'm not Mad Eye." But sure, you're not, buddy. They'll take me into custody. You'll get your 5K, run off, and then I'll suddenly not appear like Mad Eye anymore, and they'll have to let me go, right?
Yeah, the good, the bad, the ugly trick.
I'm not.
Oh well, plans for another day.
I'm not a person for gold. I'm a person who seeks honor, respect, and dignity.
Can you handle that axe pretty well? How about that? How about that for a question?
Yes, I can handle this axe pretty well.
Okay, and then for the most important question. The most important. Everything else is just crap. It's all leading up to this one. Because you seem like a decent guy, and we could use your help. And
It's like Family Feud.
But I've got to know, sir, this is the most important thing. And answer me truthfully. If you don't answer truthfully, I will know. I will know I am a cleric, a Bacchus. I can tell these things. So do not
It's an
lie to
alcohol question, isn't it?
you
I like the fact that
your liquor.
I am a woman that has. Can't you not see that I am a woman? She
I
points
can.
to
And can you handle your liquor?
handle my liquor.
Yes.
Of course I.
Well then,
Liquor in the
stick my
front,
hand out
poker in the rear.
and be like, glad to make your acquaintance, sir.
Ma'am.
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 Sorry, I'm going to screw up this the entire time, just FYI.
She's sort of like she gives you a little like punch on the shoulder. It is a
Which sends you flying.
Well, as long as you can hold your liquor, you're more than welcome to travel with us. The road's not safe to be alone.
very well.
And it's not safe to drink alone.
Indeed. It'd be an honor to travel with.
I want to, once we're out of the gates and everything, I want to climb off the horse with the Mad
Yep.
Eye.
Oh, whoa, whoa. Good distance beyond the gate, I'd hope.
Well, I can get off him. I don't have to ride him all the way. But
Yeah.
yeah, as soon as we're out of sight of the gate, then I'll lose the concentration and let Mad Eye show up again.
Yeah. He transforms into himself in his new breastplate armor.
Hmm. This is Mad Eye.
And you can see that like the horse transforms into like a dark-haired dwarf in breastplate armor. Couple of really nice hand axes on and also in winter gear.
I sort of say, you're not hiding that.
What's that?
You're not hiding that. That looks very uncomfortable.
Well, he says, "You're a Goliath."
Yes, I am. Name's Diana. Folk hero amongst my people. Slayer of giants.
Well, met, Diana. He looks at Nicodemus. He says, "You guys just invite anyone to
Yeah, pretty much.
travel with you, or
Pretty much.
You need some oats there, Wild Eye?
oh,
How about a little bit of hay and a rub down?
that He gives a cough. Oh, by the way, David, I give like everybody starts with an inspiration, but it's not a DM's book, or I'd use it as a reroll. So
Okay.
if you wanna, if you're like, damn, that sucked, I'm gonna use my inspiration, and it's just a reroll.
Okay.
Everybody starts with one, and I think it's been used once by someone. I think Alex did it once, but anyways, so you guys get like, I'd say about a mile out of town. There isn't. You guys are traveling deeper into the mountains. Mirror Bar is like
Later, Carson
literally right at the foot of the mountains. So as you guys leave the city, you guys are like even gaining altitude quickly, and you could see how the roadway and the trail and the ground are below you as you look to the south. To the north, like I said, is like this massive purple jagged rock wall. There are trails and roadways, even places where you could see that there's like bridge or stone causeways and buttressed over gaps and stuff like that. But as you head north into the mountains, that soon is, does disappear. It looks like that the most of the main roads connected with the south, but you can see that like how the city down below, it's massive. Like the walls are like from the outside are like 80 feet high, and like even taller than that at Golden Fields. Like it's just, the walls are like, they said city blocks thick. They slope and angle down. You can see how like the snow and ice is accumulated on them, and you could see way farther down. Even you could see that like the river, that the whatever I said is like the Mirror River. I can't remember what it's called. Same prefix as Miramar. That's all I remember. But eventually, you feel a frenzy thrashing around in one of your interior pockets where you almost forgot about the mouse.
Oh dear.
Whose pocket has Harshnag?
I thought Nicodemus was, but I don't know. I could be
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can feel him begin to thrash around and scramble around and inside your pocket.
Let's let him out, I suppose.
Okay, take him out.
All right.
Move
Now,
on.
do not panic. He's a good guy.
As he pulls out a mouse from his interior pocket, sets it down on the ground. The poor little mouse, like you can see, is just scrambling on top of the snow for a few feet. When it begins to like grow larger, and then its weight just makes it sink into the snow, and you lose sight of it for a moment. When it grows large enough that, oh, you can see it growing large in the snow, and it continues to grow, and it till it's like, and it's like, what are they, 20, what do we say, 22, 25 feet tall? There's a frost giant sitting in the snow, with his feet out forward and is leaning back on his arms, and you can see that he's got like a axe clutched in one fist, and he's wearing plate armor, and he has skull of a white dragon set atop of his head as a helm, and it's kind of slightly askew, and he's kind of looking dazed, kind of sitting there, and he's like, gives his head a shake, and he's like, "That's very disorientating." Oh,
You okay there, Harshnag?
I'm fine. And he uses half of his movement to stand up. And he stands up, and you can see when he looks around at like the ice and the snow and the mountains, he looks like the look on his face is that of like kind of like nostalgia and kind of like, I'm home, right? He takes a big smell of the air. He nods with satisfaction. And he sees the Goliath. And he says, "Well met, cousin." And he says, "I couldn't hear your name in the pocket." And his voice is so low and rumbling that I can't even do it for long.
She sort of nods her head and says, "My name is Diana, folk hero amongst the mountain people around these areas, slayer of mountain trolls and cave trolls, hero amongst the people of my village."
He says, "Good. You can tell me if we're on the right direction. We seek the valley of Kedron."
She
I would.
Do you want me to make a survival roll?
Not even a survival. Actually, yeah, do it. Make it a survival. But let's do it this way: intelligence survival. Isn't that funny? Hey.
What? Intelligence plus survival, or just like using intelligence?
Like intelligence, and if you're proficient in survival, then add your proficiency bonus. But not the typical wisdom survival. I do that all the time. I always mix and match. And intelligence, because it is a knowledge. And survival, and it does say survival, you can bump plus. Yeah. Roll me like an intelligence survival.
Alright, okay. So that is, I got a total of 8.
You do not know the Valley of Kedron.
No.
But there's lots of valleys. So you
He
just
says,
don't. But
he says, "I do not know this valley that you seek. There are many valleys in the mountainside."
But you could tell from the word and the way he says it that it is like a giant word.
Yeah. I
Right?
speak.
Like it. Yeah. I know. I remember. I read your character and stuff, or all your notes. So yeah, I know you speak giant. So, it is a giant place that they are seeking. And he says, "Well, I know where it is." He says, "I just have to get my bearings." And he says, "But I can lead us right there."
Yeah, you've been a mouse all day. Well, maybe an hour.
So what is your mission once you get there?
We seek an oracle. There's an ancient temple. A temple built by giants.
A temple
Tens
built
of thousands. Pardon me?
A temple built by giants, huh?
Tens of thousands of years ago. It's one of the few remnants of the ancient giant kingdom of Astoria. in this temple, the temple of the All-Father, and of course, you know giants, you know, like Anon, the All-Father, is like the creator god of the giants. That there's a temple there. Eye of the All-Father. There's an oracle. We go there, we seek the oracle to ask it questions, to find out what we can do to fix whatever's going on with the giants. Like the he says the giants, and you guys can even begin traveling as he begins like stomping through the snow. He can stomp through the snow where although it's difficult terrain, it's not as difficult as it could be, because he can break trail easily. But he says all the giants, from hill giant to snow giant, frost or fire and frost giant, stone, fucking cloud and storm, are like bound or were bound by laws that a class system within the giants, with the storm giants on top and the hill giants on the bottom. So even like the mightiest of like fire giants would kowtow to the lowliest cloud giant type thing.
So what you're looking for is a prophet to tell you where to find a person or someone who is corrupt finds the giants.
Well, these rules are called the ordering.
Okay.
Okay, this is a little bit meta game here. In this adventure,
Okay.
they are going on the terms that the Horde of the Dragon Queen adventure has happened.
Okay.
Now, if you know the Horde of the Dragon Queen adventure, that's
No.
the Cult of the Dragon
Okay.
try to summon Tiamat into the world. Dragons and giants are mortal enemies. That was like the fall of the giant empire, was because of the war with dragons. Like, oh, what the heck was I saying? The giants and the dragons are at war, and that caused like the fall of both empires.
Okay.
So when the Cult of the Dragon tried to summon Tiamat into this world, which was, like I said, that other adventure, Horde of the Dragon Queen.
Babylonian goddess.
Yeah. Marduk is cool. But like he got pissed off because, well, it's a D&D adventure, so adventurers stopped the Cult of the Dragon. Little people, Lord Anon the Allfather, the god who wrote the laws of the ordering, was like pissed off that his people, the giants, did nothing as their mortal enemy was like trying to make a power move. They left it up to the little people. So for their complacency, and they're doing nothingness during this whole dragon thing, uprising of their enemies. He got pissed off that they did nothing, so he smashed the tablets. He smashed the ordning, breaking these. And when I say laws, I don't mean like just like Old Testament 10 Commandments. It's the root of the behavior. It's not a cultural thing. It's just part of giant behavior. So to be, it's like instinct. It's like migration routes, or how birds are born with the map to migration routes in their head. You know what I mean? Like, so to have it removed, to have it broken, has left, some giants are kind of like lost, but many giants are like, well, now I'm going to take this opportunity to be the top. Because as I said, hill giants at the bottom, storm giants at the top. Well, that's not the case now. So now they all want to be top of the heap, which is no good for any civilization. Like, for the small folk, it's not good for any of the cities, for any of the nations.
Okay. I gotcha.
And I think I told you the guys this. I think I did. That you said hill giants at the bottom, storm giants at the top. Well, if the storm giants are the most powerful, then the most powerful storm giant would therefore technically would have been king of all giants. Right?
Yeah.
But now that the ordning has been broken, or I should say, not only has the ordning been broken, but the guy who used to be the top giant, he was like top of the top, King Hecaton.
Hecaton. That's what we should ask. We should say, where the fuck is that guy? I want to.
King Hecaton, the one guy who might be able to keep reign and control on all these giants doing fucking iffy things, has disappeared.
Did he have a power of attorney in case of his disappearance?
Well,
Yeah.
probably.
It left
But
Giant Slayer heir to all the giants.
so
Could be you. Could be. Carl.
so this friendly frost giant they travel with, Harshnag, has been traveling around the north, kind of like taking care of these rogue giants one at a time whenever he can encounter them, whatever, because he doesn't feel the pull of the ordning in the same way that other giants do. It
Okay.
just doesn't affect him in the same way. That's why he's been an adventurer, and that's why he's like has no problem associating with little people and stuff. The Harshnag was like kind of contemplating what to do when he encountered these guys, and then he's like, okay, these guys are, let's stop farting around and let's go to the Valley Kedron up in the spine of the World Mountains, where I know that there is a temple of the Eye of the All-Father with an oracle, and we can get some answers to some questions. And as they've been like traveling, they tell you they came from Everland, farther
Okay.
to the south. Everland is a human city.
Smells like human.
They say that they were told by the wizard that cast a teleportation circle and the polymorph on this giant here to help transport and disguise and whatever. That he said that he thinks that traveling to the Oracle with Harshnag is a good idea to get some answers, because not only are the Lord's Alliance, which is like an alliance between all the different cities, states, and nations and stuff like that. It's like they try to basically working for civilization, right? And trying to keep peace and diplomacy and trade. And the Lord's Alliance, the Emerald Enclave, secret order of like druids and rangers, the was it the Fist or whatever, like bunch of paladins and stuff like that. Even the Black Network, the Zentarum, bunch of like evil mercenaries. Even they are kind of working on this problem. The Harpers, too, bunch of like spies and bards, but they're all working on it to try to kind of like figure out, well, how do we fix this? Because this is no good, right? With giants fucking rampaging all over. So that's why that they were given aid and given teleportation by the Harpers. And when they talked to that wizard, he also said that I shouldn't say they, meaning the Harpers, meaning at least one of the organizations believes that he said he can't help but feel that somehow the giants' ancient enemies, the dragons, are involved.
Gotcha.
Somehow.
Gotcha. All right. Fair enough.
Somehow. Or will take advantage of this time while it's just, let's put it, because that's how crucial giants and dragons are to each other's history. It's like something like this is going on with the giants, and it happened because of, as I said, the horde of Tiamat, or they're gonna summon Tiamat, the giant or the dragon goddess. That pissed off the giant god, so he did this, and now there's this weird shit going on. So somehow the dragons got to be involved. Somehow.
Mhm.
And so that's why they're going to the to this temple, the Eye of the Allfather, to speak to an oracle to get some answers. And our companions, as I said, they've encountered giants everywhere. A lot of frost giants because they've been up in the north a lot. This is their second excursion into the high north.
Yeah.
They were even farther north before. They were north of the spine of the world. They were way up in Ten Towns and in Brinchander, which is basically up in the Arctic. Like, well, yeah, here in the Arctic.
Icewind Dale.
Yeah, Icewind Dale. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'll take that. Oh, I don't. Yeah. Didn't like that. That's a hard, I guess.
It's a balmy day as far as the Goliath is concerned. It's
We're down to Fire Shear. Iron Master.
cold, but not, you know,
Hmm.
not
Cool.
as cold as it could be.
Okay. So you wish to speak to this fortune teller to find where the king is?
The giant, as he chomps through the snow breaking trail, he says, I hope to ask that and many other questions. He shrugs and he says, I don't really know, but I don't think there's really a limit. He says, I just don't know what we'll find.
It's been a while since anybody's been to the temple.
I don't know.
Could be.
I haven't. He says, I've never been there. I've only heard of it. But I know.
Been there.
I don't remember what I said. Was I there?
Yeah, you told us you've been there before.
Well.
You said you knew the way.
Well, I do know the way. I
Did
just
you-
never been like.
Okay, how do you know the way if you've never been there?
Because it's the Valley of Kedron. Who doesn't know?
People who haven't been there.
Let's not argue right now.
I'll get us there. I've just never been like, inside. I've seen it.
You've seen the outside then.
Okay, so you've been there. You just haven't been inside.
Well, I haven't been there. I've seen where it is.
Did you see it through like a scrying device, like a pool of water or a crystal
Oh,
ball? No.
No, I know my way to the Valley of Kedron.
Okay.
I've been to the Valley of Kedron. He says, and then there's a causeway we gotta cross. But no, he says it's built into the side of a mountain peak. He says, so I've seen that peak from the valley, but I've never gone to the temple. But I know that others use it. I know it's still sometimes in use. But Michael,
Yeah.
you mentioned before that you want to do like a scrying or not a scrying, augury or something.
Yeah, divination. It's
a divination.
How long? Let me look that up real quick.
I had said there's no point before because it was I think it's within a week or something like that. So now you guys are within a week. If you wanted to do it, because to say like time, I hate that. I hate figuring that shit out. It could be like, I don't know, 1 night, 2 nights, I don't know. But if you wanted to like cast it, you could do it on like anytime. Let's just deal with it so you don't have to like eliminate the spell slot or whatever. It'll be on a day where
your magic is an offering out to you in contact with a god from a god's servant. You ask a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days. The end offers a truthful reply. The reply might be a short phrase, a cryptic rhyme, or an omen. The spell doesn't take into account any possible circumstances that might change the outcome, such as the casting of additional spells. Shit can change. If you cast this spell 2 or more times before finishing your next long rest, there is a cumulative 25% chance for each casting after the first that you get a random, which I do. All right, I am going to. It is a ritual, so I'm going to do the ritual. Does it have a cost? Worth at least 25 gold pieces. It's going to cost me 25 gold. And I want to know, I want to ask, oh great Bacchus, what else is near the Oracle? What other creatures reside in and around the Oracle? It's fucking 25 gold pieces. How much money did we get from the fire giant? Because I haven't written that down on my thing yet.
I'd have to dig up the notes on that. It was a couple hundred.
Okay, because I only got like 23 gold pieces written down, so I don't.
That's my tabletop group is like that too. It's like 13th level and no one has any gold. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
way to keep track of treasure, guys. I'm
Well,
not.
I do have 4 100 gold piece diamonds.
Yeah.
Our treasure is Warble. We turn them in.
Yeah. I'll say that I had $102. So I'll just give myself 100 gold from that, and there we go. I deducted money.
Okay. You ask what residents there are, and
Yep. What? Yeah. Well, that's what other creatures reside around the Oracle. Okay, is there a dragon starting it? I want to know.
ghosts from the past and spiders in the dusty corners.
It could be small spiders. It could be giant spiders. It could be fucking Ungalot. Okay, cool.
Yeti.
Go. Ghost in the past. I dig it. I'm pleased. I'm okay with that response. Cool. And augury is like within the next hour or something like that. I will tell everybody that according to Bacchus, in the Oracle there resides the ghosts of the past and spiders in dusty corners.
Ooh, poetic.
Yes. That could just be spiders in dusty corners. I don't know. Like it's empty. Could be empty. Could be nothing.
Could mean danger.
Could mean danger.
Ghosts of the past could be Trophy coming back.
Could be. Could be.
Do we got a cleric?
Yeah.
Is what Garl will ask Nicodemus.
Did you just ask if we had a cleric?
Yeah, to Nicodemus. Do we got a cleric? We got a priest, someone that can turn undead. Those ghosts need to be gone.
Yeah, I think I can handle that.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I think we can handle that. All right. So let us be on our way.
The vista is beautiful. As you guys travel, I would say that at least one night passes. Or you get deeper to the mountains. It's even a shelter. Harshnag helps to build a shelter for you guys. He's like the Goliath. He's totally unaffected by the cold weather, but he could help to build a snow shelter. He could shovel and move so much snow so quickly with his massive size and strength. As well can the Goliath with her powerful physique and a tantalizing bosom. the gnome is always frequently caught staring at you, Goliath.
My fifth wife to be, Carl says.
He thinks.
What do
he
you
thinks
say,
he's-
Diana?
He
You
thinks he's
little
quite a ladies'
funny
man. you can tell.
giant.
He is a king, so that's a plus.
Got the. I'm more into the fairer gender.
There's
You know
not
what?
fairer than me.
Nice choice, Bear.
So you like elves?
Do I like girls? Girls?
I thought you said elves.
I like women. I think all women are strong and able to do things. So I respect them, like I respect myself.
That's perfectly good.
And
Where's our bard? She needs to sing our tales there, Nicodemus, so we can get a little bit of maybe glory going. So this new this new little giant that's with us can understand our greatness.
yeah, Harshnag says, "Do so, sing." And he sits down in the
Alright.
snow. He just plops down, sits right in the snow, cross-legged. His armor clatters as he sets his axe down. You guys can have like a fire and stuff if you want. Like he can help gather wood. He's, like I said, the climate doesn't affect him at all. So you can see Silence does that. She like pulls off her mittens, her big fur mittens, and digs into her pack and pulls out an instrument. What do you
Yes.
pull out, Silence?
Well, if I got my fingers free, then I'll pull out my. Ooh, pretty sure I have a lyre or a lute somewhere around here.
Tell us.
No, wait, I have a fiddle. I'll pull out my
Ah.
fiddle.
A fiddle.
Yes.
A delicate. It has been a while since I have heard such an instrument. Please, fiddle bard, tell us a song. Sing me something exotic.
I shall try a song I'm working on. The Many Runaway Brides of Gaul.
Good one, the girl will laugh. Ha ha!
Unfortunately, I apparently count as one of them. Don't ask about the story. I was completely surprised when I heard it. But I shall sing about it. Okay, let's see. What do I need? Do we need a roll for this, or just...
No. Not
Okay.
not if you're doing this one. No. They
No rolls?
yeah. No, this is like I would say no, I'm not gonna make you roll for this because this isn't even like a performance. This is like when you're because I'm a musician. When I'm just playing around with my buddies or playing in the basement or whatever, right? I'm fucking awesome, right? It's not until like you're on a stage when it's like, okay, you gotta like, then I'm trying, right? There's such a weird comfort level. Like if you're just in your room, if you're just sitting on the edge of the bed, just noodling on a guitar, oh, I'm like Eddie Van Halen, right? Like, but on stage, it's like I have penguin flippers for hands. Just so no, you're just honestly you're just sitting around the campfire with your friends, just screwing around. Oh, it sounds awesome. And Harshnag loves it. It actually looks like Gobbo does too. For the first time, you're noticing that he's like you. You don't know if it's because of the cold weather or what, but normally he's like usually farther back a ways in the shadows or whatever. But as you guys are sitting around the campfire at nighttime, he's right up to the campfire. You don't know if he's just cold or he's getting more comfortable. But he is really into the music. The music is very much a treat for him. So you guys get your long rest.
All right.
Nice.
Anything that you need to recharge for your long rest, you may get.
I get my spell back.
All right. She'll clap the bard, type thing, and sort of say to the group around her, yes. What a story. I am most, you have brought a smile upon my face. It reminds me of home. And what happened to my people, what happened to my village. The giants came and it was an awful sight. Rampaging through our little village, killing women, men, children, stomping on them, blood everywhere. The snow pale was like turned to a bloody red color. Only a couple of us survived. It was a sight I never seen. It was horrible. My father had to bring me up and train me in the combat and fighting these creatures that were killing our people. We wanted to get revenge. So after many years of training with my father, we went out as a group, and I slayed my first giant. To this day, I keep his finger as a
Can I see it?
Yes. She pulls out this finger of a giant.
Just a big black desiccated finger.
Yep.
Totally looks gross. It looks like a turkey neck. Giant, just big. Ugh. I just gave myself the greebles thinking of it.
And the cool thing is
Carl,
a
Google eye over it and her and kind of drool out of the one side of his mouth and say, a fighting lass. You'd make a good queen.
Silence will have to add another verse.
Yep.
he sort of and then she puts the trophy away, and she gets out a little soft toy, little doll. This doll represents the pain and suffering I have encountered all my life. All the pins representing hatred that have caused upon me. I wish to claim vengeance upon those who have hurt and who have brought pain to me, suffering. They will pay, but they do not see the true reflection of me. They see the broken doll for They do not see a hero. They only see a joke of a woman.
Okay. Maybe Margara start rethinking this queen bit with her because she's starting to get even darker than Garl.
Yeah.
It'll be more basic instinct. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, but the crazy ones are always good in bed, though.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Kath, that was it.
Yeah, I guess.
That is true. She says that is true. Many people have said many things about me over the years, but I wish to prove them wrong. Hopefully, these needles will be the pain that people have caused me, and people will see what I am.
Well, we're really not necessarily trying to kill giants. I mean, it kind of happens, especially we're trying to stop giants from killing other people and doing stuff. It's more like to make sure that stuff like that doesn't happen to anybody else. That's more what we're trying. What happened to you is we're trying to prevent that from happening to anybody.
Oh, I'm not saying that all the giants were the problem of my
Okay.
life. I said I had many foes and many other obstacles in my life. Yes, the giants have hurt my family and so forth, but there were other obstacles that I have bumped into my life. For yes, I have bumped into people who think I'm a racial person who does not like other races. I've been called all sorts of things, many names.
Well, if you stop and think about it, Nicodemus.
Yeah.
To solve the problem of the giants doing the same thing that happened to this runt of a giant in her.
Yeah. Well, he's only 6'3".
If we, like I
He's-
said, runt.
He's only 6'3".
And if we wipe them all out, then they can't cause any more problems.
Yeah, but that's a kind of a tall order. I heard like back in the day about this gnome serial killer, and I never once thought, hey, let's kill all the fucking gnomes.
Well, who would want to? We're such charming people.
There's no point killing everything. Everything has a purpose in life. If you kill something, if you kill one, kill off everything of that one species, it could have a great impact. Well, that we have made, that we are living in. For example, if you kill all the bees, there'll be no honey. There'll be no flower. There'll be no
If we
perfume.
we kill all the giants, and there's no more giant warfare.
You did not listen to what I said, though.
Oh,
What do giants?
I listened to what I said.
Is there anything like hey, like we'd miss giant this? Like if we kill all the bees, there'd be no more honey. If we kill all the giants, there'd be no more what?
War.
Yeah. But any good?
Throw in there.
For example, no doubt they have made the land in like the rock giants have made the rocks.
Harstag says, but anon the Allfather and his children, his first children, were immortal. And every generation after that, their lifespan got shorter and shorter. Unrecognizable at first. But now, he says, me, I'm about 200 years old. I have a few more centuries yet, but I'm by no means immortal. He says, so We're a ticking clock, anyways. We, he says, I want to stop it not only for the cities, but to save my own kind. Giants have been around since the beginning of time. So,
Yeah, but what are you
longer
good
than-
for? I mean, like bees make honey. What do giants do? I mean,
we carved the world as you see it.
oh, okay, that's pretty handy dandy.
He says, I
that's been done.
personally believe we all have value. Other than those blasted dragons, they can all drop dead for all
Well, yeah, well, that goes without saying. You know, dragons.
Why, I would always want to have a pet dragon to ride in the battle.
Oh,
That-
yeah,
That would be pretty cool, actually.
that would be cool. Dragon is, by far the coolest mount.
I agree.
But I must say, Bart, you have a soothing voice. I applaud you. You sung very beautifully.
Her and she's very contemporary sounding. Whatever contemporary would be in Dungeons and Dragons, it is. It's like the cutting edge of what the next wave of influences. She has
Well, all the new tunes go through Waterdeep. I've got a lot of inspiration to draw on.
True, true.
when it comes to human culture in most of Faerun, yeah, Waterdeep influences a lot of it. It just does. Just how New York or Paris or anything, right? It just where so many people gather, whatever. It's a fashion and a trend.
Who's going to take first watch?
I could do first, if you like. She gets up. Most of the time, she would sit with legs open with the loincloth hanging between her legs, and just gets up, gets the shield ready, axe, spins it around in her, gets her axe ready, and then starts to patrol.
Okay. After a couple days of traveling and a couple nights of camping together, you guys start to get like a routine of who takes watch first and stuff like that.
Yep.
You guys become accustomed to traveling together and getting to know one another. To the rest of the party, I would say that the Goliath would be pretty easy to travel with because there's like the cold, the weather, none of that is an issue. So the newcomer is certainly not the one complaining the most.
Yeah, because I'm resistant to cold.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And these guys without their furs would have to be making checks for travel is a little slow. And when I mean a little slow, I mean a lot slow. Everyone but the Goliath and Harshnag are not only affected by the cold, but by the altitude. So,
Fuck up, Gobble. You're giving goblins a bad name. Pick up
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Gobble probably isn't affected either, I would say.
We could get Gobbo some like snowshoes, and he could just like, because he's light. He's real light.
Yeah, he would be. Well, him and Garl. Even there's a lot of times where Garl can travel on top of the snow. Like when Harshnag walks through, he plows through like the snow's like 10 feet deep in spots, right? Because you're in the mountains, and a lot of times Garl and Gobbo can be walking actually on top of the snow because it gets there's a crusty surface. There might be some fluff, but then it's crusty enough for them to walk on. Harsh, and I'm not gonna look in the DM's guide because it's not that important. But I'm pretty sure that you guys can only travel half the distance, like half the time. Like if normally you can travel 8 hours a day, I think it's down to 4 hours because of the altitude. So when I say at least 2-3 nights, I'd say like on the third day, Harshnag says we'll be at the valley soon, and you guys are kind of like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? And then suddenly the mountains open up to like a steeply walled valley, but it's a wide, broad, long, straight valley where the going is relatively easy. The terrain isn't as up and down. Like there's places where Harshnag has literally had to like carry everyone, right? Like it just gets, you're taking a hike through the Rocky Mountains. But until you guys get to the Valley of Kedron, where it's nice and wide and broad. And he's like, we're almost there. We should be there. Well, when we get there. Because like I said, you guys gotta move slow. Altitude. Cold. Deep snow. In fact, it's so deep that Harshnag, as he's walking, you can see that even he takes one long stride, one big step, and he sinks down into his hip.
Wow.
His one leg just sinks down, and he like howls in pain. And I'm gonna go to the washroom, and we're gonna roll initiative.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the washroom. I'll be right back.
Let's see here. And you said roll initiative.
I went ahead and rolled for Gobbo
And
too.
let's see here. That's
Pardon me, Michael?
I rolled for initiative for Gobbo too.
ooh,
You did? Okay.
That's a terrible roll for me.
I got 16 myself.
I got 10.
Garl got himself 12.
What was it that you got, David? A 16?
Yep, 16.
Michael, I know you rolled for Gobble, but can we just do what I'd usually do? Just put the NPCs at the bottom?
And fine with me.
It's just... Okay. Because even that... Okay. It's gonna go... What did you get, Nicodemus?
I got 22.
A 22. Okay, so you are gonna be the top, and then it's gonna be, and then there's gonna be things between you, and then there's gonna be David, and then there's, what was Garl? 12,
Yeah.
and Kath?
There's 10.
10. Okay, so we'll go. Michael, you will be first
Yeah.
because, as I said, Harshnag takes a step and all of a sudden he sinks into the snow up to his hip, and he kind of yells, and you can see when he like withdraws his leg. This is how combats start. Attached to it is a large centipede-looking thing with giant mandibles gripped onto
How
his
large?
ankle, but it has like these frills behind its head and markings down its back that glow red and as hot and as red as iron in a stove.
How big? How big is it? I mean, it's a centipede
Large.
giant. Oh, it is large size, L?
Yeah.
Okay.
L.
That's pretty fucking big for a centipede. Okay. I'm gonna be like, holy shit! And I'm gonna back away from it through the snow. And as I do such, I'm going to unleash a bolt of say the magic words and toss a shot glass type thing at him that'll transform into a brilliant golden splash of champagne, aka a guiding bolt at the motherfucker.
Okay.
And that will be a, where's the dice? That'll be a 19 to hit it.
Oh, that hits.
And that will be 16 points of radiant damage.
How much?
16 points of
Okay.
radiant damage. And it explodes into a big fluffy thing of champagne sparkle that kind of rests upon it and light it aglow. And whoever attacks it next will have advantage.
Okay. So you can see the hits, and there's kind of like sparkles kind of still dancing upon the surface of its body.
And I'll back away. I'll back away.
Okay. I'm going to get everybody. So, Catherine, or Silence, Nicodemus. What's your character's name, David?
Diana.
Diana. Diana.
Diana. Yeah, like in
Okay.
the
Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Okay.
basically, yeah, like like
So-
in Wonder Woman.
Okay. So Silence, Nicodemus, Diana, Garl.
That's why she's 6'3".
Oh.
Basically, I picked the same height as Wonder Woman.
Oh, is she 6'3"?
Yeah, 6'3".
Is the actress Gal Gadot, is she 6'3"?
Yeah,
No way.
yeah.
That's a huge woman.
Mm-hmm.
I want everybody to just roll me dry D20. High is good, low is bad.
Okay.
Ooh, D20. Roll it, baby. Roll.
12.
Ouch.
Oh.
Anyone beat a 1?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got a 5. So
I
no.
got
Are you looking
got-
for higher or lower?
Who else got a 1? Anyone get a 1?
nope.
Okay. I gotta. Oh, what did you guys get again? Anyway, just let me.
Okay.
That one distracted me. What did you guys get? Anyone get like low? Anyone get really low? Single digit?
I got 5.
She's only 5'10".
Is she?
Yeah, according to Google.
All right.
Gonna quibble over a few inches.
A few inches. That's 5 freaking inches.
Few inches.
In that case, I'm 6'1".
Oh, in the comics, I know that she's about 6'3".
I
Get her
don't know.
some elevator boots.
Blind me.
Silence, what's your armor class? I think that's gonna hit anyways.
It can't be that great.
So,
She's hot as Taylor Swift.
Silence. You are like kind of like WTF when bursting out of the snow comes another one of these things, large
Oh.
size. So it's about 10 feet long, centipede, and you can fucking feel the heat on it.
Hmm.
And you take 15 points of damage. 4 of that is fire damage.
ooh,
Wait,
nasty.
how much damage did I take again?
15. 1-5. And
Ouch.
but 4 of that is fire damage.
Ooh,
So-
no.
Probably resistant to that, so you'll take you'll take 11 plus 2, so you only take 13 points of damage. I think is what he's trying to tell you.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
because
a
you're
bit better.
tiefling, aren't you?
Yeah,
Because there is the
tiefling.
distinguishing. Because these crushing mandibles, and you are like you might be grappled.
Uh-oh.
No.
Hey, I don't. Maybe not with this one. Okay.
What?
Anyways, no, I'll say you're not grappled. Not with this one. It's just a
Okay.
large. It's large. This one that got you. Wait, what the hell? And as That's sad. Okay. Erupting underneath Warvel comes another one of these things. However,
Oh.
this time, this one is huge. And it comes erupting up, and it actually like lifts Warvel up out of the air. He indeed is grappled and is caught in these mandibles, and he looks like he just about loses like limbs when it erupts out.
Oh, giant.
It's big. It's really big. It's huge. This one.
Damn.
And when it like comes bursting out of the snow, you can like feel the heat even from a distance. You could feel it like you're like a bonfire, like just or like when an oven opens, just the heat radiating from this thing.
Okay.
And it's your turn, Diana.
All right. Cool.
There's 2 smaller ones, and the huge one.
Okay, I'm going. Is the bard grappled?
I'll say no right now because I have to actually look it up for the smaller ones because I don't know if it was like a.
Okay, so who looks like immediate danger right now?
Mad Eye.
Okay. Hmm.
The one with the huge one.
Okay, I'm going to attack the huge one. All right. So she goes walking towards the big, giant, huge centipede, and she is going to swing her axe at it. Okay, so my axe. So my battle axe, I get a +7 to that. Right, to attack. And I get to attack twice, correct?
Yeah.
So 23.
Well, that hits.
Okay. So I've got to figure out how much damage it does now. So my axe, it does 1d8 plus 4. So 1d8 plus 4. 1d8 plus 4. So I do 11 points of slashing damage to
How much?
this. So I do 7 plus 4. So 7. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Which is so yeah, it's 1d8 plus 4.
Yeah.
So I do 7 plus 4. So 7, 8,
11.
9, 7. Yeah. So I do 11 slashing damage to the beetle, and then I'll attack it again.
Fuck it up, Dino.
Mm-hmm.
Save
Well,
Mad Eye.
So unnatural 20. All right. Does that hit?
Yep.
All right. Cool. And then another 1d8 plus 7. So 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that's 15 points of slashing damage to it.
What did you roll this time?
A
On the
natural
dice?
8. A natural 8.
Okay, so +4 is 12.
Plus 4, 12. Yeah, sorry. Oh, yeah. Counted it wrong. My bad.
That's all right. You chop at this thing. Like you chop into this thing.
I chop at the thing, yeah?
Yeah, I just when you get close enough to attack it, you take a couple swings and you realize that like it's like reaching into a blast furnace, and you take 11 points of fire damage from just the proximity of it.
And as response, I will roll my d12. Because
Okay.
as I can roll once per day, I can roll a d12 to reduce the damage.
Okay.
So I reduce that by 8.
Okay. It's just the absolute intense heat of it, like, is just intense, absolutely intense. Garl, if you're done, Diana.
I think Diana on that Stone's Endurance.
Yeah, I'm done.
On that Stone's Endurance, you also get I think you get to add your Constitution modifier also.
Oh, do I? Oh, yeah.
I think so.
Yes. 8 plus my con is... Plus my con is... On now. My con plus...
+3, I think.
Yes, +3.
Oh, well then it balances out.
So I take no damage. Yay!
And
And if you're done, then
Yeah, I'm done.
okay. Garl.
Carl will go ahead and he's gonna. Which one is closer of the two smaller ones? The one that has Orville grappled, or the one that attacked?
The small ones are actually on Harshnag the Giant and on Silence. Warville is actually with the huge one.
Okay,
It
So
has
now-
him up in the air, grappled in his jaws.
so the one on silence, Garl will take 2 shots at that one with a short.
Yep. Yep.
Let's see here, 1, 2, and he'll go ahead and take his -5s on that, the sharpshooter.
Yep.
And that will be with the -5. Let's see here. All right. That will be a 14 and a 21.
Hit.
All right.
And your Gloomstalker.
Yeah, that's where I got my second shot from,
Oh, okay.
because it's first round of combat.
Yeah. And sneak attack is, well, Silence is there.
Yeah, but let's see here. So I get, I got to move this off to the side here. That's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 D6s plus a D8. And that's a total of 11 plus 10 is 21 plus 6 is 27 points of piercing damage and sneak attack damage.
How much? 27?
Yes.
Okay.
And then for his cunning action, he will hide in the nearest snowbank.
Okay. 27? That doesn't, is that total? That doesn't seem right. Not if you hit twice.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I got a, oh, no.
It should be higher. Like, because you did sneak attack, you did, what you call it, sharpshooter
I
twice.
missed,
That's 20 in itself.
I missed the D6. My bad. I missed the one attack. Is what it was. No, that's right, because there's the D6 for my sneak attack. The 2 D6s there. My 1 D6 there. Oh, I see. Yeah, it's my damage on the other. No, that's right, because the damage on
And then 20 plus your dexterity bonus.
Yeah, I am missing a D6. That's what it is. All right. So that would be an extra 1. So 28 points of damage
Okay.
on that, because I rolled 2, 1, 1.
Yeah, you rolled piss poor then.
Yeah. And then he'll hide with the the cunning action. He'll do his stealth into like the snowbank, kind of jump into it and then stay as still as he can from these things, thinking that there may be more. And that gives him, let's see here, a 10 on the die. So come here. Where's my mouse gone to? Oh, there we are. And 10 on the die. And my stealth that's a 19.
Okay.
And that's basically it for him at the moment.
Okay. Nicodemus. No,
Yo.
you can't. Yeah, you're top. So it's down to silence now. That's where it is.
Yep. Ooh.
It's your go. You got one chomping on you. A small one that's large.
I'm just wondering, can I use sleep on it?
Can you use what?
Sleep on it. It's one of my spells.
Sure. But
Uh,
it looks pretty robust though.
yes, undead and creatures immune to being charmed aren't affected by this spell. So I was wondering if a giant centipede is a creature that is immune to being charmed.
No, it has to do mainly with the amount of hit points that you can affect.
Okay. Let's see. Roll 5d8 for total is how many hit points. How many hit points of creature this spell can affect? So it has to be pretty weak before it sleeps. Okay.
Oh, Garl knocked it down 28 points.
That should help. But again, DMJ said it's a bit robust.
Oh yeah, no, just because I hit it 28 points don't mean I did a dent.
I don't want to see what this thing does when it laughs.
You can,
So probably just try shatter.
you can always give someone an inspiration.
Sorry, what?
That's a bonus action.
Oh, is it? No.
Hang on, I'm pulling up shatter. Okay, 60 feet. Yep, I'm going with my shatter spell. Sudden loud ringing noise, painfully
Ooh,
intense, erupts from a point
It
of...
made it save, so
Dang it. What's the save for a save?
pardon me?
So it's made of organic material then?
Yeah.
Okay. Half as much on a successful one, so half 3d8.
Yeah, roll damage and just tell me the damage and
Hang on a minute.
and then we'll half it.
So I got a 8, 6, and a 7.
21, half,
Half of that.
10 points of damage.
Reasonable enough.
Boom, which you can hear just roll down the whole valley.
Oh damn, avalanche.
Avalanche, yeah.
And now NPCs. So Harshnag the Giant. He chops at the one that was biting him. It's still alive, but very mangled when he chops into it, and you could see that, like, around where these things are, the snow is, like, of course, melting and turning to slush and such. Gobbo. Michael, do you want to do Gobbo?
Sure. I'm just going to, at the moment, have Gobbo hide in a snowdrift. Just kind of, oh no, and dive under.
Yeah, he may do that. He may do that.
Do you need a stealth roll?
If I need, no, I always like to do it when I need it.
All right. That's all he's going to do at the moment. He's just going to seek cover, get a safe distance, and jump in. Over the snowdrift. That's it for Gabo. Next.
Okay, I'm just quickly gonna see what Warvel.
Darn, we should have
Okay,
turned Warble
Uh,
into his life. And enrich us.
Warvel tries to break out but cannot. Cannot break out of its jaws.
Oh no. I'm coming to help you, Whirl.
And top of the round, Nicodemus.
Alright, I'm coming to help Whirl. I'm gonna help you, Whirl. How big is this motherfucker? He's huge. Okay, I got
Huge.
huge, and he's got Whirl in his claws. And
Mandibles, both parts.
well, okay, my bad. And out of curiosity, is he injured?
Is what?
Is the thing injured? Has somebody? Yeah, somebody
Yes,
hit it,
yes,
right?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. The Goliath has attacked it.
Alright,
It did damage. Ooh, it sounds like
going
it's
to
raining.
try to. Yeah, it was raining here pretty good. I want to try to move up to near behind the Goliath, so I can reach out and touch him if need be.
Yeah.
And I am going to champagne cork the thing. Have it make a wisdom save, if you would, please. I'm just there in case you need a heal. I want to be within touching distance of your boy.
Champagne Court. That's a good one.
Toll the Dead instead of the boom. It's a bing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. That's a cute reskin.
Hang on. Of the huge big one.
Oh! Savings throw 16 plus 0, total 16.
Oh, son of a bitch. So absolutely nothing happens.
Rolled damn good.
Yeah.
Good roll. Wow.
Okay.
So
Yeah, nothing happens. Have a good day.
the satyr comes up and kind of behind from your hip, almost Goliath, Diana. He casts, and you hear like a popping sound, like a cork and a spray of foam, but it just batters and sizzles on this thing's hot body.
Okay.
After you goes big one. Oh no.
You see, I don't do a lot of damage.
You see at the top, its head and mandibles give a quick flip, and you see Warvel disappear into its gullet
Oh, no.
as its mandibles move and work,
Quick, someone
Just-
squeeze it.
swallow him down.
Okay.
I got a diamond. Don't worry, I have a 100 gold piece diamond with your name on it if something bad happens.
Something bad has happened.
Okay. I'm gonna attack the thing that's swallowing Gulbert.
He in those 2 rounds he took 100 points of damage. So yeah, easily.
Wow.
Okay, attack then. You may.
All right. So this is the huge one, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna attack it then. All right. First one. Let me see. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the first one I got a 13. I guess in that will miss.
Oh, it does. It just your axe hits it on one of the plates, not where it's glowing, right on the edge of like one of its armored chitinous plates on its body, which are snow white, where it's not glowing red hot, and it just
Okay.
your axe harmlessly bounces off of its armored plate there.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna try and hit it again.
Yeah.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 23.
How much?
23.
That hits.
All right. 1d8 plus 4. That is 4 plus 4 is 8. So
How
do
much?
8. 8.
8.
I did 8.
Okay.
And then I'm going to activate my hero, my champion's ability, which I can attack. I can take an extra action to hit again, I think. Let me see. I think that's correct, isn't it? We're taking an extra action once between rests. Yeah, I could take an extra action between short rests.
You mean for action surge? Yeah, you can do your whole extra attacks. You can get 2 more attacks if you wish,
Yeah.
or do a totally different action. But yeah, you may.
Yes. Okay. Cool. 'Cause I wasn't sure how that worked. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna attack again. Ah! I can only do this like once per long, like short rest. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So that is a unnatural 19. So
That hits.
if it's an unnatural, does it have to be 19 or no to get the critical hit effect? Champion.
19 on the dice.
Okay, so no.
Yeah,
So 12.
19, 20 on the dice.
Okay, cool. All right, so I did 2 plus 4. 4, 5, 6. 6 points
Okay.
down. And then my next one, hopefully, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Nope. And the fourth one just missed.
Okay. This thing is so blazing hot. I 30 points of fire damage.
Okay, 30.
Yes. It is like as
30?
yes.
God damn.
I know.
God
Alright.
fucking damn.
I know. I know.
Heck,
I know.
I know. You don't know as much as Warble knows.
Oh, I know. I know.
Okay.
Feel bad when things like this go wrong like this.
All right. I take it.
Okay. And then it is now. If you're done, Diana, then it's Garl's turn.
Yep, I'm done.
Okay.
Garl,
Can I do another? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Garl will, looking out of the snow at the one that he was attacking, that attacked
Silence. Yep.
is going to go ahead and cast Hunter's Mark on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he will go ahead and take a shot at it.
Mm-hmm.
Using his sharpshooter, so that's -5. So let's see what we get. Roll, baby, roll. Ooh, 19 plus the
Well, that totally hits.
yeah, that hits.
The smaller ones are not quite as heavily
Yeah,
armored.
so that hits there. We'll get rid of that. So I have my D6 for my hunter's mark. I have my 2d6s for my sneak attack and 1d6 for my short bow. And let's see what we got. That one will take there's 21 plus 3, 24 points of damage. 3 of it, which is like magical force. The rest are
It doesn't have any resistances like
Yeah,
that or anything like that.
just saying to make
Yeah.
sure as far as that. So that's
Mhm.
that's that. Then Garl will go ahead and he will try to move towards the mountain or the mountain ridge that he's seeing in the valley,
Mhm.
or a rock that's nearby to get on some hard ground. The kind of like thinking kind of like in the limelight of like Tremors.
Tremors in case something else comes up underneath. Okay.
And he can only his max movement for that is 25 feet. So if it's with
Yeah.
half of that. So,
Yeah. You're moving there, but yeah, it's like I
Yep.
said, you guys are pretty much in the
That's-
valley floor, so
that's what we
but you don't see any more because it's been like what 2 rounds combat. There hasn't been any more that have burst up yet.
but that's what
So,
he's going to be
yeah.
doing, moving along there. If he does notice no new adversaries come about, he may stop and rethink his actions next time.
Yeah. Okay. Silence. What would you
Yep.
like to do? You got this one still that was near you?
Oh
And
boy. It's been bashed up a bit more. So I'm going to try sleep on it.
okay,
Try and take it out of the action. Let's
roll
see, what is it?
your points.
Roll D5 8. 5 8s. Okay. Okay, 23 in total.
When you cast your spell, it's a little hard to tell at first because it's not like it has like eyelids or anything. It just suddenly goes still. And it kind of curls into like a ball, like a, what you call it, bug.
A grub worm.
Yeah. But it is sleeping.
Give me inspiration card.
Oh, thank goodness.
Give me inspiration.
NPCs. Michael, do you want to do Gobble?
Gobble's gonna pop out of the snow like the vile archer that he is. Aha! And fire at the giant one for
Okay.
a what is he? +4 for a 15 to hit the huge one.
Oh,
Just missed.
cannot penetrate. It's
Ah!
it's the thickly plated carcass.
And yeah, it burns up and he's like, he goes ah, and then dives back into another snowdrift to hide. Not so well either. Just FYI, so not well that anybody with a 10 passive perception sees where his feet are hanging out.
That's comical.
Oh yeah, he's a goblin. He's not
Yeah.
he's not a perfectionist. Harshnag, he will he does a lot. He destroys that second one. Or that one that was on him. He just chops it pretty much into half, and then he like gets his attention on the big one. And NPCs are done. Back to the top. Nicodemus. This thing lets out a weird. You wouldn't call it a roar.
How are you look? Since I'm standing right behind him, Diana, what are you looking? How are you looking?
Burned, singed.
On a scale of 1 to 76, you're about
She's on 46 hit points now, but yeah, she looks pretty burned and pretty singed. But
Okay.
you know, she's still standing and
Still standing, right? That's all that matters. You're standing. All right. Pop a champagne cork in
I
the
was
thing.
hoping the bard would give me a break.
I don't even, I'm like, oh my god, I'm not a damage dealing cleric. I'm just going to pop a champagne cork in the guy's
Don't
face.
think I have that spell. Get an
Michael,
inspiration.
it failed its save.
Awesome. Only 7 points of necrotic damage as it pops in his face.
Okay.
7. That's not bad. So it pops into a little bit of his flesh, like a little bit, like very little, 7 points worth of flesh melts away. I'm going to have to do something else besides this cantrip. Okay, I'm done. Still standing behind dude.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot you can't do that spell advantage, don't I, on that big giant huge thing, don't I?
Huh?
Oh, I forget to roll that. You should remind me. You casted that spell, didn't you, on that creature that gives me advantage on it, doesn't
Oh,
that was
one attack.
that was the other one. It was just one attack, and that was the other one. So it was.
it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's only for the next following attack upon. Okay, so
I know what
the
I'm going to do.
one small one is chopped in half. Harshnag is walking over. The other one is rolled up into a ball, slumbering under Silence's magical influence. We have. I'm gonna get everybody again to roll a die 20. Low is bad. High is good. I will roll for my NPCs.
Ah.
Uh-oh.
Then
2 people.
Ah.
I got a 18 on the nose.
Well, you didn't beat my 2.
well, I got a 5.
Gobble rolled 16. Harshnag rolled a 9.
And Garl rolled a 7.
Nobody. 2.
2's lowest.
Yep.
That's you, Nicodemus.
Yep. Time for the pain.
You
Hey, Lord.
you cast your spell at this thing. The foam and Biz sprays on it. Cork bounces off of it. you can see this time it clearly. You can see like how it drains the vital nature of its flesh where you hit it, and you can see that its massive insect looking head, not insect but bug looking head, arthropod looking head turns, and its multifaceted eyes lock upon you, and his glowing red frills seem to glow even brighter as his head plunges down and it takes a bite at you. And I rolled a 4 plus 11 is 15.
You suck. You suck.
So,
I'm still standing. Yeah, yeah.
what's that saying about something like the gods favor fools and drunks, or children and drunks, or something, right? Like,
But they definitely favor drunks.
yeah, like, yeah, it misses you, which is like a really good thing to happen. And the other one is sleeping, and it goes to Diana. You see this one just plunges its head down to attack the cleric, which manages to avoid the attack.
Alright, I'm gonna try and swing and hit it.
Okay.
Alright. 15 plus 7. So does that hit?
That is a 22, which hits.
22. Rolling 5 plus 4 for damage.
That is 9 points of damage.
And a natural 20. A natural 20. I
Nice.
crit.
So roll 2d8 plus
1.
4.
So 1. So the first one is a natural 8, and the second one is a natural 6.
So that's 18 damage on the crit.
Mm-hmm.
So 27 points of damage this time.
Yep. And then my bonus action is I'm going to use an action surge to heal myself.
Okay.
So that's all my action surges used up now. I gain 4 hit points back.
4 fire damage this round.
Okay. All right. Ignore the.
That time I rolled much more reasonably.
Well, it doesn't matter anyway. I gained 4, then I lost 4. So
yeah.
Well, it's 4 plus my con, isn't it? I think.
That's for your second wind. It's D10 plus your level.
Oh, so it's, my level is 8. So
12
8.
points in total.
12. All right,
so a remainder of 8 to heal. Because
right.
it did 4 more, so just 8 to heal in total.
Okay. 54. Yay. All right. Cool, I'm done. I can't do anything else now. The hero is done. Champion has done what he could. Or she could.
Garl will, looking at the battlefield, he sees the one attack and miss Nicodemus and such. So he's gonna do a free action holler at Gobble, protect my priest, and then he's going to go ahead and take and shoot an arrow at that one.
Mm-hmm.
Right. First things first. Let's see if this Bubby hits. How far away is he?
Oh, I don't know, not that far. Like at most, like 60 feet, like 80
Okay,
feet at most.
all right.
Like
That's within my range.
you haven't gone that far, no.
So that would be a let's see here, 15 on the die.
Oh yeah, and probably more like half that, yeah.
And then okay, 15 on the die with 2, so that's a 17 to hit.
That hits.
And with that, then I get my little arrow. Now, do I get my sneak attack? Do I have an ally?
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. You got there's a Diana and Nicodemus are both
Okay, so
right on it on melee.
I get those sneak attack that. All right, let's roll and see what we got there. And that'd be 11 plus 10 is 21 points of piercing and sneak attack damage to him. And let's see here. What will I do with my bonus action? As a bonus action, I will dash out like he was doing before to try to find a rock or a hard surface.
Mhm.
As far as that's using his cunning action.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I think that.
So you're certainly at least farthest away from it.
Yeah, I think that's the most he can do at this juncture.
Okay. And now silence. It is your go, and your sleep is not a concentration spell, so you don't have to worry about that.
No. Oh boy, I have to move on
There's
to
just
the
a huge one.
yeah, move on to the next one. Well, I'll say I'll go for Shatter again.
Okay. And it's big enough you can easily cast it without getting your friends. Because,
Yep.
as I said,
Okay,
it's
let's
huge.
see.
So remove your spell slot and I'll roll my
Yep.
con when I find it.
Ooh, one more chance to use Shatter. Alright. Creature takes 3d8 thunder damage on a failed save. You have to do a Constitution saving throw.
I rolled a 23 for my save, so it succeeded. Roll your damage, we'll half it.
Okay, let's see. 3d8.
Can't you just use vicious mockery on the bloke creature?
Whoops, I did that wrong. Hang on a moment. 743.
Okay, 7, 4, 3 is 14 for a total of 14. Half is 7.
Wow, that's something.
And I assume you're gonna not approach it, or are you gonna move closer to it?
Oh, I've
Okay.
kind of learned my lesson. Keep a
Oh,
healthy
and this
distance.
one's like I said, that other one was like 10 feet long. This thing is like what, 40 feet long.
Have you got a bardic inspiration bonus action or anything you can give out?
Pretty sure it's a.
It's a bonus action.
Yeah, it's a bonus action.
Give me.
It's not attached to a thing like a spell like that, so I don't remember reading that for someone.
No,
I've got Font of
Bardic
Inspiration,
Inspiration.
but. Here we are. Bardic Inspiration. Skills. Got it. Yep, I'll do that. Bonus
who?
action. On you, since you keep crying for it.
Yeah! But
The squeaky wheel does get the grease.
hey, I used to be playing. I play a bard, so I know how a bard.
Oh, this is my first time playing a bard, so I have no idea.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so you what do you do to give out your bardic inspiration?
Well, a bit of a hurry. I'll say a quick, saucy poem.
Okay, good. Good.
Nice.
The Faerunian equivalent of a dirty limerick.
Yep.
There once was a Goliath from Nantucket.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Boy, if you think water deep,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Goliath deep.
Yeah. So I will go to Michael. You can do Gobble the NPC.
Okay, Goggle will come out as since his feet. He's going to back out since his feet were already there, and then fire. Oh, fucking crit on his bow. Gobble. And just right in the freaking eye of the thing for the plus 2 damage. 13 points of piercing damage. That's damn near max. That's one off of his max damage. Wow.
How much?
13 total piercing.
Wow.
Yeah. He got that thing right in the eye. And then he'll dive back down into another one for a decent hide this time. I mean, but I'm very perceptive.
Harshnag moves in and he gives it a significant chop. I gotta give him some heated body damage. Okay, he takes some, not too bad. So this thing is looking much more hurt than it was only a short time ago. For everybody this past round has done damage to it.
Yeah.
Your spell got it, Nicodemus. Diana struck it. Garl's arrow struck it. Silence did some shatter damage, and even Gobble and Harshnag both struck it. So everybody did a little bit of damage to it this round. So it looks significantly weakened over this round, and it's back up to you, Nicodemus, at the top of the round.
It looks weak, huh?
Weaker, yeah, for sure.
And you look a little better.
It'd be certainly bloodied, right? Like,
All right. Why change? Champagne cork and make a wisdom save.
Oh, I thought you were going to try diplomacy.
Oh. I was thinking about asking Diana if she wouldn't mind to be turned into a big giant beast to fight this thing. A lot of extra hit points. Don't have to worry about the concentration of being, hit by it. Easier to turn something else into something than me.
You want to tell me something big? Go for it.
Oh, okay. Well, I was thinking about it, but think we can just continue whittling away on it. As long as you're up. If you go down though, I'll definitely. Well, first I'll heal you, and then I'll do something better for you.
Cool.
Throw
I don't mind. As long as I can help out and take this thing out. I mean, I don't do the most damage, but hey, that's down to the ranger or the rogue.
Yeah, that's the ranger's job to do the damage at the moment.
I'm just like trying my best to like pick at it with my axe.
How's the wisdom saving throw going?
Wisdom savings throw.
Yes.
I rolled the wrong one. I'll roll it again. I rolled a Constitution for some reason. Because I was thinking, aw. Ah. Oh, 2 plus 0 equals 2.
Yeah. Well, he only takes 6 points of necrotic damage. As it splashes right in its face. Maybe gives him a slight little itch and irritation somewhere.
I mean, 6 doesn't sound like a lot, but you can still see it definitely affects him. Where it contacts. It's like it's hot. Like it's honestly hot. Like even to just be near it, like you're squinting your eyes, you could feel like your skin on your face getting tight. You know. Nicodemus has finished again. It could go after pretty much anybody, even if it wanted to go after Garl. It could make a move towards him. It's big. It doesn't seem to be troubled by the deep snow. So everyone is going to roll a die 20. Low is bad.
Well, I've gotten a lot low.
Oh, that's better.
A natural 20.
You're safe.
Yeah. Oh, I got to.
You roll for Gobble there, Michael.
Rolling for Gobble.
Anyone lower than a 4?
Nope, I've got a 13.
Okay.
16. Girl.
Because Harshnag came up and he chopped at it with his axe. It actually lunges towards Harshnag, which is best case scenario. And it misses!
Oh, poor guy.
Its mandibles grab on to Harshnag's arm, but he's so well armored that it's kind of like just a minor tussle. But yeah. Yeah, I rolled a 2 on the attack roll. On the dice. Okay, good.
Diana, I guess.
Yeah, Diana.
First attack. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
That hits.
1d8 plus 4. So 6 plus 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 points of damage.
Okay.
Second one. 15 plus 7.
That hits.
That hits. And then 1d8 plus 4. So 7 plus 4.
Okay. For a total of 21 here.
Nice. Can I... what type of bard are you? Are you a battle bard? Or is she a lord bard?
I come from the College of Law, so battle
Ah.
isn't my forte.
Ah, damn it. I was hoping I could use my bardic inspiration to do more damage.
Afraid not, man. Afraid not.
And I hate to do it, but I got to give you 8 fire damage when you attack it,
Yeah.
Ah,
Diana.
okay. I take it like a boss. Ah,
Okay. And then after Diana, if you are done,
I'm done.
Garl,
Garl will go
you're
ahead,
moving away.
take his shot.
'Kay.
And as he's taking his shot, he's going to be hollering at Gobbo, "Protect my priest!"
I got him!
As far
So
as
far as unscathed.
let's see here. Let's see if I hit. Ooh, crit!
Nice.
All right. So let's see here. So that will be for the double the arrow dice.
Nice.
Got the sneak attack. All right, let's see here. We'll roll this funny stuff. That's that'll be 38 points of
Wow.
damage.
Wow. That's a lot of damage.
Well, it's a crit. And then with his bonus action, Garl will dash back even further.
Okay.
And that's
Okay.
not that
Silence.
not that his dashes
Yep.
really go that far. But
No, well, that's like especially like you're off trail like that. It's the
it's basically giving me a normal movement.
yeah, pretty much. Silence. Your go.
Hang on a minute. What shall I use on it? Had an idea. Wouldn't exactly adversely damage me. Just need to check something. Would this work?
Can we go for a quick bio?
Okay, okay.
No, it'll be a bit too slow since how far we are in the fight. I'm gonna try Tasha City's laughter on a thing. Let's see if it laughs.
It could.
It's getting
When we
late.
cut his belly open, do I spend a thing on Bad Eye?
I hope this fight comes to an end soon.
This thing's just a bag of hit points, is it not?
Basically. But still, I want to go to sleep.
What time is it in Switzerland?
It is 1:05 in the morning.
Okay.
Oh, you're only an hour ahead of me.
Yes. Now I'm still losing sleep.
Go.
It is 7 in the PM here in the Bluegrass.
Well, aren't you lucky?
Oh, well, a little bit. On weekends, I gotta wake up at 5 a.m. to go to work, so I don't know how lucky that is.
That's real lucky.
Okay. It's better. Before this lockdown thing, I had to wake up at 4 a.m. We're now not open as much. We're lost some time of being open because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we still in combat?
I
Yeah.
don't think things dead yet.
Damn.
And as soon as it's over, there, Diana, I'm going to need your help gutting this thing. You and Harshnag need to gut it and see if we can get the remains of Mad Eye out so I can bring him back from the dead.
Barbecue Mad Eye.
Yeah, yeah. I got Revivify, and I got the gem to do it. I got a couple gems to do it.
Nice.
So as soon as it's only like you can only be dead for a minute. So as soon as combat's over, we're going to have to whack him. You know.
See, and the thing that I'm surprised is
It's
it
mains
run
there might
off with Mad Eye.
Okay, sorry about that. My mother had to tell me a story. The cops are here looking for her.
awesome.
What?
What you do?
Get out.
Are you ready? They came and they're like, yeah, you put garbage in a community garbage bin. She's like, what? And she's so confused. And then she realized yesterday she lent the truck to my cousin because my cousin was doing yard work, and she used a garbage bin, but it was in her neighborhood, right? So it was like she used the garbage bin in her neighborhood with my mom's truck. But somehow someone fucking ratted and took the license plate, and it came to like basically for using like the garbage bin in the wrong neighborhood. And anyway, just such a stupid story, but it's like holy cow. They're fucking concerned about garbage.
That's weird.
It's just funny. It's like holy shit, man. I hope you guys are hear that or that fucking sharp when something important is happening.
Yeah, at least they asked and didn't holler off.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I just thought that's quite funny. Okay, so anyway, Silence, what did you do?
Tasha's hideous laughter.
Is there like does it have to have a certain intelligence?
It's a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, but is there any like parameter? Does it have to have like a certain intelligence or something?
Not according to the description. Just as a creature of your choice. But I must succeed a wisdom saving throw to not start laughing. Oh, a creature with an intelligence score of 4 or less isn't affected. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, precisely.
It's
So what's
less
its intelligence score?
probably like 1 or 2,
May be higher.
maybe
That's
3.
what I'm asking. What's its intelligence score?
Well, I'm looking, and it's 4. So, and unfortunately, I'm going to count that as you're going to have to remove a spell slot. Yeah, because it's something that none of us knew about. You would have cast it. It just didn't affect. It has not enough of a mind to have a sense of humor.
Well, we found out it can't laugh.
Oh my goodness.
Um,
A beastie. It's a beastie. It's gonna get us. Run.
Yeah.
it's NPCs. You could do gobble.
Gobble.
Save the priest.
Gobble again. I'm not. That is a 23 to hit the thing.
He hits.
He hits for 6 points of piercing damage.
Okay, another arrow hits it, and you can see like only a few seconds after any ammunition hits it, like the arrows hit it and penetrate the hit, and then like a couple seconds later, you can see like the fletchings in the shaft flare up into fire as it ignites from this thing's internal heat. Its heat is so much that it's actually made the frost giant somewhat cautious, who is taking a help action.
Oh, wuss.
Hey, I'm just following what it says in the adventure.
Yeah. Nobody's saying anything.
Nicodemus did. So top of the round, Nicodemus.
All right, let's do this again. Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom
Rinse.
save.
Yep. Oh, that's a lot better damage this time if he fails.
At least. Oh, it failed, Michael.
18 necrotic.
Michael,
Yes.
describe necrotizing this thing.
Killed the rumor has. And the champagne cork explodes as he's about to come down on Diana again. No, it wasn't. He attacked Harshnag last time. And it just explodes right in his mouth, and he just starts to eek, and he starts to choke and cough, and his tongue just melts, and as his tongue melts, this fiery goo just springs out, and he coughs up the charred remnants of Warvel's body.
Which are exactly that.
That's fine. Oh, then
It just regurgitates a weird thing, like a weird gob of like ash and digestive fluids and charred bone.
No.
I'm going to read it to you. Revify. And it says, you touch a creature that has died within the last minute. That creature returns to life with 1 hit point. The spell can't return to life a creature that has died of old age, nor can it remove any missing body parts. Am I assuming by your description it is somewhat missing?
Well, no,
parts?
he's a charred corpse. He's a charred corpse. Because it's all like, yeah.
So it's there though, right?
Yeah, I would say, yeah, no, it'll work because it didn't say anything about him.
Are we still in initiative?
Do you know what? I will say no, because there is one that is sleeping, but
And that's why Garl was asking, because he's going to holler, the other one's alive! Don't touch it!
Yeah.
Because the hunter's mark he has on him would tell him that.
yeah, you could transfer it. Yeah, totally.
I've got Mad Eye. I must bring him back. And I'll go and look over his body, and I'll fumble my pouch for one of the diamonds that I've been holding on to for a long time. And place
Like
it.
he's dead. Yeah, so he took 100 points of damage and was swallowed, and then like what, a round or two inside. Yeah, he's like being
3 or
digested, but
4.
he's like, yeah, but he's whole enough. I would say that he could be.
I'll shove the diamonds in his mouth and then start pouring copious amounts of wine for Bacchus to bring him back to life. It's only a 1 action casting time, and his eyes will open as he swallows the diamond. The diamond turns into the liquor of life. Brings him back to 1 hit point.
And he only has 1 hit point, so he doesn't look good.
He looks like a hard corpse still.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It just the big difference is that he like takes a wheezy gasp of air and his hand clutches your forearm.
And then into my backpack again, fumble around, take out my Pearl of Power and grasp it, and get my fucking 3rd level spell slot back.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh.
Garls, you make your way over. Harshnag is tromping over to the sleeping one. And looking at, you can see it's sleeping. It's kind of it's not glowing quite as red hot as when it was active.
Garl will be saying, "It's still alive. Stay away. Don't touch it. Let's move away." What is that thing you got next to you, Nicodemus? It looked like burned rabbit.
Well, it's Mad Eye, and he's not feeling so well at the moment. Never fear, the Liquor of Life can bring anybody back as long as they haven't been dead too long. So fear not, as long as this quest continues, I can keep you alive.
And Garl will walk over to Mad Eye and go ahead and yeah, I got 3 of them, so he'll cast Cure Wounds on Mad Eye.
Wow.
And let's see here. That's get him 8. 4 plus 2, 6 points back. So at least he ain't down down at just one and done.
No. He that
At least has a little bit of something to help him move a little bit while we start moving or whatever.
he looks slightly less horrific. Like, he's been chomped, he's been burned, he's been whatever, but he's alive.
Yep.
And
Bad day.
yeah, he'll need to convalesce, and miraculously by morning he'll be 100% fine. But Harshnag is like just from not touching it, but he's inspecting this one that's asleep. The one that's the huge one that's dead is cooling off and melting into the snow
And Garl will look around and say,
slowly.
and
A lot of steam.
Garl looking around will look to see how the other party members are looking.
I think Diana's hurt.
Yep.
I don't know. I think Silence is. I don't recall.
Does Silence hurt?
A little bit, but I'm fine. Fire damage doesn't really do much to me.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm a bit injured, but I need a little bit of healing.
Then Garl will walk up and say, "Hey, Tiny," and he'll slap his hand onto her thigh because that's about as far as he can reach. And
Okay.
he'll say, "Be cured, be healed, my new queen. I claim thee." And let's see what you get out of that. That'll be my last cure wound.
I take a little plonk on the head, like a little donk on the head. Nothing serious, but one of those.
That's all right. You get 3 hit points back. Oh. That's what I get for being a smart butt.
Um, he heals you a little bit.
Darn.
It's like his healing magic is somehow familiar to you.
So how much did he heal me for?
3 points.
3 points. Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
It's somewhat familiar to you in the fact that coming from this little deep gnome, and you're a big virile Goliath,
Mhm.
when he casts you with this healing magic, you could. The thing that's familiar is that it comes from the earth, and it speaks of stone when he casts it.
No.
Feel that it comes from the earth. That although you guys are superficially different, there are things that
Are similar.
yes, and that association of earth and stone.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I like
Cool.
You very much feel it in
That's a nice color.
the healing.
I'm doing that.
Since in the real world we're coming up to this time, whether you guys, I'll say that you guys can camp, you guys can rest, you guys can do whatever. Harshnag has taken a little bit of a singe, but he's still quite good to go. So he can like look for a place to camp, he can aid, he can carry people, he will accommodate as much as he can so that you guys get a good rest.
Well, 4 days.
And pardon me?
Well, full rest.
Because you guys rest so early, and because you guys can't really travel much for the high altitudes and everything, as I had mentioned before, the only ones unaffected by it are Harshnag and the Goliath. But everyone else has to stop. After I'll look in the book after, but I'm pretty sure that it's only half the distance. So you guys camp. You guys rest early enough where you guys are actually moving before the sun is up.
No.
So that by the time the sun does break and dawn comes, the colors are beautiful. The sky is clear. Comes the morning when you guys are making your way through a very narrow pass in the valley. And I mean narrow. It looks like where the mountain was literally cleft in two, whether it was by geological motion, but it almost looks like it was hewn with an unbelievably huge axe, where the mountain just is cleft. You pass through, and when you eventually come out into the beautiful blue sky and the bright early morning sun, the white snow and the purple mountains, ahead of you is a deep valley, hundreds, maybe even thousands of feet deep, hard to tell with the perspective of just the white. And ahead of you is a narrow causeway that actually looks natural, like a natural rock formation that bridges across this valley covered in snow. And on the other side of the valley, on the mountains, carved into the very side of the cliffs of the mountains. You could see what, again, with the perspective, it's hard to tell, but you could see it very clearly that there is a massive stone dome standing on stone columns. And there is a sense of awe because it's like this massive stone edifice with this massive stone building carved into it, this massive stone bridge, but yet at such a high elevation that it has almost an airy, ethereal feeling in the bright morning light. And Harshnag says, "That's the temple where the oracle is.
Oh,
That's the temple of the All-Father."
I see.
And the one other detail that you notice is that there is footprints in the deep snow on this causeway that arches over the valley to the temple. So a natural stone bridge covered in snow, and there's human footprints in it. And I don't know, like about 10 or 12, I'm not exactly 100% sure. But Garl, if you take a look, you could tell by the footprints
uh-huh.
that they're soft-soled boots.
Okay. What are they? Giant size, or would they look like human, or possibly gnomish size?
Roll me a survival.
Alrighty.
I'm afraid this is where I have to go. It's just too late for me.
Yeah, well, we're going to call it right here.
Okay.
You
And
guys are at
Okay,
the
well,
causeway.
I'll leave
the
quickly. Great
footprints.
playing, everyone. Great meeting you, David.
Bye, Kath. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
that's a 23.
Okay. Looks very much medium-sized.
Okay.
And with the 23, you could probably guess. It looks like could be like barbarian tracks.
Okay. All right. No problem.
Looks like a group of barbarians has recently gone to the temple.
And Garl would share the information with the party. Barbarians have been here a while ago. They may be waiting to take us on. We'll have to prepare.
All right.
And that's where we'll leave it. Till
Cool.
next week.
Nice.
Great. Thank you for the session. It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, sorry, I apologize for blowing off last week, but Charles wasn't feeling well. Michael's sounded like he had better shit to do. I was tired. And then this week, well, I'm still always tired, but fuck, I fell asleep.
All right, no problem, man.
But how was it, David? Any
Yeah.
questions? Anything?
No, I mean, well, was my character okay?
Oh, it was fine.
Yeah.
Oh, I was actually I was excited because I saw that you made a fighter. I like fighters. Like me personally, I like fighters, and I'm like, oh, cool, and a champion.